Since that's where the air conditioner pad goes, Tim wants to make sure we really get that compacted and tight. As he's going, level this out, makes his life easier. Because he's going to hit it more than once, you know, Tim. You know he's going to hit it more than once because you know Tim. These jumping jacks, although they look like they hit really hard, they're not our first choice in packers because they really don't hit that hard. We're found for the kind of soils we have here in Minnesota, the 33-inch dual drum sheep's foot packer is the best for clay with some binder in it. Then we'll go with the 1,000-pound plate packer next. Then we'll go down to the 400-pound plate packer, third choice. Or somewhere with this one where we're going to be working in and around structures and obstacles, that's when we'll go with the jumping jack. And you're like, well, there's no obstacles right there. Why don't you get the other one? Well, because this one will do what we're doing when we do small lifts. And then it saves us the hassle and trip of bringing two packers out instead of one. All right, this is wet. Look how wet this ground is. That's wet. And we've been driving over this all day long on this wet, soft, spongy ground. This is our worst spot. I think Tim just did that right there. Right here. That's the worst spot. And we've hauled 16 tons of dirt over it. Small load of boulders. So we're going with a non-permeable poly right here just because of the potential to have water drain into the house. We do have a heavy-duty boulder fabric behind the boulders. If you take a look right here, you can see that we've got that, and you can actually see the difference, the compare and contrast between the two. Now this is permeable, and that's fine. We do want that to drain, although that's not really meant to drain, but that's how we're gonna lay this one out, and then the rock goes back in place. Gotta love these tailgates that won't open without the key. As we've been talking about numbers on and off during this series, one of the calculations we have to take into effect is the cost of the equipment. Now, as we look at just this scene right here, we have a $54,000 mini loader. We have a jumping jack packer, which can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 depending on how new it is and what brand you're using. The pickup truck is $46,000, and the SureTrack trailer is anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. Again, depending on how relatively new you or used you're using. The material cost on this job at this point has been 1 load of boulders and 2 loads of dirt. So we've got about $120 in dirt, and we probably have about another $250 in material cost. So if you really look at this $5,000 job broken down, not a lot of it has to deal directly with material costs. We have less than $1,000 in materials to handle this job. It's about the labor and the labor savings. That means all this fancy equipment we've got helps us to do a job like this in one day. But we've also got to take into account the cost on a per day basis of owning all of this equipment. We need to be able to break this down into our overhead. That's a very important factor. That lady behind me was in a rush.
Is on in the morning, or is that?
They're already shut off.
They're shut off? Okay.
Yeah.
Is this wet all this time of year already? Weird that it's this wet.
Yeah. Steve, can I record this on the camera? Okay, cool. Are we going to put black dirt down on the path?
Well, I'm a little concerned about the little ruts here. I don't know, it's maybe not a big deal. Like I said, I'm going to have this guy come and punch all this, so I don't know, maybe.
When is he going to do that?
It's not scheduled yet. I just contacted him. So.
Okay.
So if we put a little bit of black dirt in and some seed here, and then he can.
Yeah.
I mean, if he punches it, it's going to kill the seed, and it's not going to hurt anything.
It won't kill the seed.
No.
And just move it around. Yeah, the seed will just pop, grow anywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so probably.
So just this hill to level out some of these ruts.
right up to about here, I think. Just kind of.
Yeah.
And then this is more balanced out up here.
Yeah.
This should come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will come back.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so we just need a little bit for right there, nothing down below. We don't have to worry about nothing. No, okay, perfect. And then we got a little bit of a mess right here. You want to lay some black dirt out and seed over the top of it, or what would you like
How
to
big
see?
do you want to go here? Do you want to just kind of fill this, get a You know, if I get a couple yards of black dirt. And
I think if
just
there
fill it
was
all in.
like an inch and a half of black dirt over this whole area.
See the whole thing, or just kind of
Well, I mean,
leave some
dip
of
it
that.
up from,
Okay.
dip it up from the edge.
Just kind of feather it in, right?
Inch to an inch and a half. I mean, I think.
You want to leave some grass though, like up here. This is fine, huh?
Yeah,
Just kind of like maybe in this area,
yeah. And
throw,
it's-
throw an
yeah.
inch and a half
And
down.
this is always bad down here because, like you guys did, there's always delivery trucks or other stuff driving over that area. It's always.
Okay.
So we can just grade this out and then fill the black dirt into this stuff too, huh?
Yeah.
This stuff is nice.
I got the hydro bucket on the Mini, so that'll till it in. What Tim is talking about, Steve, is you see this right here.
Yeah.
This has been, look at how well this has been tilled up. That's just because of that bucket right there. It's got a power rake on the back of it. So when I'm done with an area, it was compacted just like this.
Oh yeah.
And just for tonight, what I did is I just went through it and tilled it up.
Okay.
So what we'll do is with the black dirt
There's
is
a lot of clay in there, right?
yeah.
So that's part of the problem we have here. There's so much clay. It's hard to grow.
Yeah, what we'll do with the black dirt is we'll bring it all together.
Yep.
And then
But
then
this
you got a
stuff,
better
Is there
organic
sand
base.
in there too, or just black
This
dirt?
has got some sand in it. That stuff that we
does.
brought in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, is that? I need compactable clay, but it was.
We call it structural fill.
Yep. It's got a sand clay mix to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, clay binder with
Straight clay? No.
no.
We're working in straight clay right now. That stuff's off.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll touch that up in the morning,
Okay.
and that'll be it. Oh, that's a big dog.
Yep.
How did you guys move it?
Me and Tim just lifted it over here.
You did?
Yep.
Just the two of you?
Yep. It's not too heavy.
Well, it looks heavy.
Yeah, I thought that too at first.
All right.
Set it back over there, but I don't know.
Is it
I'll
attached
be
to
out
the
here
base?
tomorrow in the morning still for a little bit,
Okay.
just touching some stuff up.
How did you guys do it? You
out.
the base?
First we had set
just
it
wanna
off
let
to
you
the
know we're
side
finished,
and
so
then put the base
whenever you
down and
want.
then we just lifted it off.
Come on out, but we're gonna move the air
Okay, so
conditioner
we're
back over to that
We'll
spot.
just do the air conditioner.
Yeah, no, pad seems fine. Do you want us to set it on top of the pad? Yeah, you might want to level it off or whatever. They're moving it right now.
All right, that wraps this one up. The rock has been replaced. We did not go up to the black on purpose. It's not an oversight or a miscalculation. We've got the grade set here, the new flagstone, not new, the old, reusing the old. And what do we got? What time is it, Joey? Do you know?
Almost 5.
Almost 5. So we got 9 hours in on this one. 3 guys, 9 hours. We had about a 1 hour lunch break while Tim was running materials. So I'd say we've got 8, 16, 24, 25, let's just call it 25 working hours in on this job today. And we got it wrapped up. Okay, makes sense. So there we go. So let's just take a look at how we got this part done. You can see where our wall is not supposed to look like we added on to it. So if you didn't know that wall ended right there, hopefully our wall blends right down, takes everything. I think it does. I think it actually goes really well.
The homeowner actually came out and he's like, well, you didn't add any boulders. I'm like, I added a course of boulders. He's like, oh, you did. I'm like, must blend well.
It blends, I think it blends really well. I mean, because we were able to match their style, color, choice of boulders, their pattern as well. So that was the point, is to not make it look like we came in 5 years later and added a course of boulders on top of an existing retaining wall.
Perfect size match for that course level.
That worked out, and that's our project on this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the ride. We're gonna go through numbers on this one. So hopefully, if we haven't done that already for you, I'll make sure to add some numbers in on this one at the end so you guys can get a gist or a feel for how these things work, and we'll go from there. God bless. Go get them, you guys. We'll see you on the next one. All right, you guys, let's do some real world numbers on a project like this. We had 25 labor hours on it. Now, if we're going to be expensing our labor hours at $30 an hour, and that includes FICA, Medicare, Medicaid, all the exemptions, everything that you got to add into it, $30 an hour is not unheard of. 25 hours at $30 an hour gives us $750 in labor. We've got about $200 in boulders and about another $100 in dirt. So we've got a little over $1,000 wrapped up in materials and labor on this job site. Now we've got a little bit of plastic and a few other nicks and knacks and things that went into this job, some fabric. So let's just add another 50 bucks onto it. So we're up to $1,100 in hard costs. That's labor and materials. But now to do this job, this was a $5,000 job and it took us 1 day to do it. But to do that $5,000 job in 1 day meant I needed to have access to a mini loader. Now that one cost me $54,000. The bucket on front of that mini loader, that was another $4,000. So we've got about a $58,000 setup in that piece of equipment right there. We brought out a set of forks on there, so we're going to add another $500 onto that. So that means we've got $58,500 in that one. Now Timmy is driving his truck and he's pulling the dump trailer. His truck was $47,000. The dump trailer was $8,000. He pulled out a jumping jack packer. That was about another $2,500. For me to get out here separately from Timmy, I drove my $45,000 pickup truck and I used that to go pick up that mini loader. And what I did with that was I used the landscaping trailer. That was another $3,500. So let's add that all up. Dan the man, if you could add that up as I'm talking, and we'll get a grand total of what the equipment alone just to do this one $5,000 job was. Now we take that and that that doesn't include insurance, that doesn't include fuel, that doesn't include office expenses, that doesn't include any of the overhead, but we do other overhead not directly related to this job. But we do have to still expense all of that overhead to this job. So all of the things that I just said have to be allocated toward this job. For us, the average is about $1,000 to $1,500 per day. So that $5,000 job with $1,100 in material costs directly taken out, take out $1,500 per day in overhead costs, that leaves you with what we're left with, and that is our margins. And now you may say, well, that looks pretty fat, but now we've got to pull a job like this off every single day so that we can stay ahead of the game. And when we don't pull a job like this off every single day, which we don't, a lot of times we get on big projects with big problems, or we have excavators break down on the sides of the hill, or people stranded on the side of the road, and there's some days where we get nothing done whatsoever. So that is the life of a landscaper, and that's the numbers. Thumbnail. Put this in for the thumbnail, Dan.